Have you ever told yourself you were doing the right thing, even when it felt wrong? That's the story of my life. I always believed that being a good mother meant sacrificing my own happiness. I told myself I was staying in my marriage for the kids, that leaving would be selfish. So I stayed. My name is Jessa, and I waited until my children were grown and gone to finally get a divorce. And now, looking back, I can't help but feel like I wasted the best years of my life. My marriage didn't end with a bang. There were no explosive fights, no dramatic betrayals that you see in the movies. What we had was something far more insidious, something quieter and, in many ways, worse. A profound and deafening silence. We were roommates, not partners. We coexisted in the same house, managing schedules and raising children, but we had lost the connection that once made us a couple. The emotional distance grew into a canyon between us. We stopped talking about our dreams, our fears, our hopes for the future. We stopped laughing at inside jokes. We stopped touching. We stopped truly seeing each other. I was living with a stranger. Every time the thought of leaving crossed my mind, and it crossed my mind, a lot I would look at my kids. I'd see their innocent faces, their complete dependence on the family unit we had built, and I would push the thought away. Just a few more years, I'd tell myself. Just until they're older. Just until they're in high school. Just until they're off to college. It became a mantra, a justification for my own unhappiness. I convinced myself that their stability was more important than my vitality. So I stayed. I stayed through countless birthday parties where I felt completely invisible, a mere facilitator of the celebration rather than a participant in the joy. I stayed through holiday dinners eaten in tense, heavy silence, where the clinking of forks against plates was the only sound. I stayed through school plays and soccer games, putting on a brave face for the world, pretending we were the happy, supportive family everyone saw. And with each passing day, with each year I chose to stay, a little piece of the person I used to be, the woman I was before becoming a wife and a mother, slowly faded away. I was forgetting who I was. The vibrant, ambitious, joyful person I once knew was being buried under layers of duty and silent resignation. The day my youngest child packed up their car and headed off to college was supposed to be a day of liberation. For years, I had envisioned this moment. I thought I would feel a sense of relief, of freedom. The kids were finally independent. My job as the on-site mom was done. I was finally free to leave, to start my life over. But instead of relief, a wave of sheer panic washed over me. The house was quiet. Too quiet. The silence was no longer buffered by the sounds of kids playing video games or arguing over the remote. It was just me and him, and the vast, empty space between us. Suddenly, I realized with terrifying clarity that there was absolutely nothing left. No children to serve as a distraction. No parental duties to justify our continued cohabitation. It was just the two of us, and the emptiness was unbearable. After a few more weeks of living in that hollow silence, I finally found the courage. I sat him down and said the words I had been holding back for 2 decades. I told him I wanted a divorce. I had played out this scene in my head 1,000 times. I expected yelling, tears, maybe even begging. I was prepared for a fight, but his reaction was something I never anticipated. He just looked at me, with no surprise in his eyes, and said, "I wondered when you'd say it." That single sentence hurt more than any argument ever could. It confirmed that he had known, just as I had, that our marriage was over long ago. We had both just been going through the motions, 2 actors in a play that had long since finished its run. He wasn't just my roommate. I was his too. Now, I'm in my late 40s, and I'm starting over. I'm rebuilding my life from the ground up. It's a strange and disorienting process, learning who I am outside of the 2 roles that defined me for so long, wife and mother. I'm rediscovering old hobbies, making new friends, figuring out what I actually like to eat for dinner when I don't have to please anyone else. Some days, it feels incredible. I feel a sense of freedom I haven't felt since I was a teenager. The world feels full of possibility. I can travel, I can learn, I can be anyone I want to be. On those days, I feel strong and hopeful. But then there are the other days. The days when the regret hits me like a physical blow. It's a deep, aching sadness for the years I can't get back. The what-ifs are a constant companion. What if I had left in my 30s? Who would I be today? What experiences did I miss? What friendships did I let wither? I look at women my age who have built careers, traveled the world, or simply lived authentically, and I feel a sharp pang of envy for the life I didn't allow myself to live. I want to be clear about one thing. I don't regret leaving my marriage. Not for a second. My only regret My deepest and most profound regret is that I waited so long to do it. If you're watching this, and my story resonates with you, if you're staying in an unhappy, unfulfilling relationship for the kids, please, listen to what I have to say. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Every situation is different, and I can't possibly know what's right for you. But I want to offer a perspective I wish someone had given me all those years ago. We tell ourselves that children need a two-parent home, a perfect family unit, to thrive, but what children truly need is happiness and health, and that includes the emotional and mental health of their parents. Your children don't need a parent who is just a shell, going through the motions. They don't benefit from growing up in a house filled with silence, tension, and unspoken resentment. They are more perceptive than we give them credit for. They see the lack of affection. They feel the emotional void. What they need, more than anything, is to see their parents happy. They need a parent who is alive on the inside, who is fulfilled, joyful, and living an authentic life. They need a role model for what a healthy, vibrant life looks like. By sacrificing yourself, you might be teaching them that this is what love is supposed to be: silent, dutiful, and joyless. Is that the lesson you want to pass on? I spent 20 years thinking I was protecting my children, when in reality, I was depriving them of a happy, thriving mother, and I was depriving myself of a life. I wish someone had told me that my happiness mattered too, that it wasn't selfish to want more than just being a caretaker, that I was allowed to have my own dreams. It took me too long to learn that lesson, and I'm sharing my story in the hopes that maybe, just maybe, it will help someone else learn it sooner. Don't wait until the silence becomes all you know. Your kids need you, but they need the real you, the one who is happy and whole. Thanks for listening. If this story touched you, please consider subscribing for more real life stories and discussions.